I'm Lana Tleimat, and this is the Occasionally Broadcasting Network. Tonight's stories. Two Stanford students released a digital dorm called Sesame, which already has over 500 users. It is also, reportedly, where Bert and Ernie first started experimenting. The Trump administration was just revealed to have tipped off Hoover board members about the threat of the coronavirus back in February. Then, in August, Hoover was tipped off once again. Coincidence? The Director of National Intelligence announced last week that, in an effort to interfere in the U.S. elections, Russia and Iran both have stolen voter registration data. And, for the record, Vatican City tried, but they couldn't figure out how to turn off caps lock on their computer. With the election only days away, one female student was excited when someone suggested she become a poll worker. Says the creepy guy who made the suggestion, "That's not what I meant." Here to talk about the election, we have Bruce Blankenship, professor of U.S. history and man going through a divorce. Thanks for being here, Professor Blankenship.
Hey, thanks for having me. And please, call me Bruce. It makes me feel about 25 years younger.
Sure, Bruce. Many people say today that politicians and political campaigns have never been this unscrupulous in their attacks against their opponents. Do you agree with this?
Well, I think the last time we saw a Democrat totally annihilate a Republican like this was either in 1856 when Preston Brooks violently bludgeoned Charles Sumner into unconsciousness on the Senate floor, or last Thursday when Linda took me to court over the custody of our 8-year-old Labradoodle Noodles. Oh, sure, the Democrats pay taxes for the dog parks. They want all dogs to have free dental care. Republicans don't care about dogs. And meanwhile, the Republican Party has always been the primary breadwinner of the family, making all the important decisions, paying for all the little dog sweaters, taking the family on ski vacations, developing industry.
Is everything okay with you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm sorry. I'm just going through a bit of a personal rough patch. Hey, you know James Buchanan was the only U.S. president to have never been married? Lucky bastard.
Alright. Are there any other elections that you can see similarities to?
Well, the election of 1932 also comes to mind, coming off the heels of the Great Depression. Herbert Hoover gets a bad rep because he didn't take much of an activist approach, but the Great Depression wasn't his fault. He did the best he could given his principles. And he may not have shown it all the time, but he loved America. He may not have hugged and kissed the states all the time. He may not have come to all their soccer games or made it home for dinner every night.
Seriously, is everything okay? Is there something you want to talk about?
I'm sorry. I just got a little frustrated when I think of who's getting custody of America.
I think you should see a shrink, Bruce. But, last question. Do you have any predictions about the presidential race? What about the Senate? Do you think the Democrats will get to keep the House?
Well, if the Democrats are anything like my soon-to-be ex-wife, they'll find a way.
Thanks, Bruce. Next up, we have a spotlight on Stanford's newest department.
As part of an ongoing initiative to stimulate interest in the humanities, the university founded the Spooky Studies Department. Here to comment are several Spooky Studies professors.
The Spooky Studies Department is very prestigious. Our students go on to get elite jobs and internships such as vampire assistant, old hag at end of 73rd Street, lady with many cats, and, of course, BuzzFeed journalist. Only the most frightening of faculty have a place in these hallowed halls. We have very big spider wearing very small hat. We have American Girl doll possessed with the spirit of Winston Churchill. And, of course, we have real-life werewolf, in that there is always a wolf loose in the building, and we do not know where it is. Wolf? Wolf, is this where you are? Wolf? Wolf, I have told you this 1,000 times! Dismember naughty grade students outside the building, please! You are ruining the carpet! Earning a degree in spooky studies is as easy as making a good spicy borscht, okay? First, you must take an independent study course under my supervision, where you will learn firsthand the art of spooky studies. You will drain the blood of men who send unsolicited dick pics. You will summon a demon from the 6th, 7th, or 3rd circle of hell. You will curse at least 15 school children, and of course you must face your fear of talking on the phone.
We spoke to two new professors in the Spooky Studies Department.
I am Professor Theodore Rumpus, the sexiest man undead. I was born in 1754 and I became a vampire on the eve of my 19th birthday during a rather unorthodox game of cribbage. I teach Spooky Sex 308, the art of seduction. Believe me, I have been quite successful with the ladies. In fact, I single-handedly caused the 1876 outbreak of syphilis in Paris.
Hi, I am a spiritual healer, follower of Mother Gaia and modern TikTok witch. I'm teaching Witch Talk 101, 1001 ways to manifest your man. Not only will you learn how to find your soulmate, but you'll also learn how to effectively use healing crystals, synchronize your auras, and summon the wrath of nature through the power of interpretive dance.
Both professors teach in the Spooky Seduction track. They agreed to give us a special look at their succubus syllabus.
My curriculum is well suited to entrance even modern, lustful women. Ladies these days are much more frank with their desires, thus I have invented several new techniques. Kissing a lady's hand when you are introduced used to be sufficient to capture their heart. Nowadays we must update our approach to demonstrate our prowess as a lover. Thus I recommend voraciously French kissing their hand instead. I shall use my own hand to demonstrate. Enchanté, mademoiselle.
All of my students learn how to read tarot. Let me just shuffle these cards and then we can get started on today's love reading.
In my day, presenting a flirtatious calling card was a surefire way to spark passion in a lady love. Nowadays, women are much more concerned with career connections than with romantic ones, and the only cards you are liable to receive are business cards. Not to worry, I have created a new card to suit both purposes. A business card sure to help you get all up in their business, if you will. Roses are red, violets are blue. I want to have sex, preferably with you. Please add me on LinkedIn, too, at Theodore J. Rumpus.
Some of you may have noticed that I am not using traditional tarot cards for our reading today, and I would like all of you to know that real witches can use any deck of cards to do a proper tarot reading. That being said, our first card today is the King of Spades. Now this means that your soulmate's name starts with an A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H through Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, or Z. No X's or Y's though, so the Xavier or Yakov in your life is probably not for you. Now, next up, we've got, oh, this is really abnormal. We've got the Three of Spades. And now this card means that your true love will get 7 to 20 years in prison for white-collar crime. Now, I know this may not seem like a helpful tip now, but in the future, when your husband gets arrested for tax evasion, that's when you'll know he's the one. Now, for our very last tip of the day, I'm going to be speaking the light language while I pick our card so that I can manifest a really useful hint for us. Okay. Okay, now, pick a card. Any card.
They can't pick a card. It's a recording.
Well, in that case, the archangels tell me you are going to pick, this card. Now this is the Queen of Spades, and I'm getting a really powerful energy from this card. It's extremely ancient, but vaguely sensual, and distinctly slimy. Your soulmate, your true love, the one that you are meant to be with forevermore, is Theodore J. Rumpus? What? No, that can't be right.
You've just been rumpused.
For the Stanford Occasionally, I am Sam Catania.
Is your dad actually a Trump supporter, or has he just been possessed by a Confederate ghost? Next time on the Occasionally Broadcasting Network, I'm Lana Tleimat. Thank you, and good night.